Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Faith Walk with Oluchi. I want to especially thank everyone who has subscribed, who has watched, who has shared, who has commented, who has liked any and or all of my videos. Thank you so much. I don't take it for granted. I'm really thankful. I trust that as you watch this video, you will. If you're just coming across it for the first time and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It is free. Yes. And then also share the video with someone who you think needs to hear it or who you think will be blessed by it. And I trust that you watching and any other person comes across with it or comes in contact with this video will be blessed by God's special grace. Amen. Today we'll be talking about the Zelophehad daughters and their quest for rightful what's the word, inheritance sharing, if I may phrase it that way. So to give a bit of a background, Moses before now had given some laws on so many things. Yes, laws on so many things, but on this inheritance law, it was that inheritance is that lands, cattle, and different things a man owned, a man was the head, is the head of the family, would only be handed down to his sons. And by default, if he didn't have sons, it seemed like there was no specific rule for if he had no sons, but by default, it means he would pass to his brothers or something like that. So there was no specific law for if he had no sons, pass to his brothers. And so this man Zelophehad had five daughters, and they were like, okay, hold up. So we don't get anything because our father had no sons. And so they like, no. So I'm going to be reading from Numbers 27. Um, and in between, I will be making some explanations, giving backgrounds as I always do, to give more context to what we're discussing today. So Numbers 27, I'm reading from the easy to read version. Zelophehad was the son of Hefer, Hefer was the son of Gilead, Gilead was the son of Machir, Machir was the son of Manasseh, and Manasseh was the son of Joseph. Yes. Zelophehad had five daughters. Five. Their names were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These five women went to the meeting tent. So it's like going to the White House, going to Capitol Hill, in Nigeria, going to House of Assembly, or yeah, something like that, and stood before Moses, Eleazar the priest, the leaders, and all the Israelites. Like they did not come to play. They did not. They came correct. Like they gathered, or is it that? I think most likely, I haven't done my final. Most likely, they utilized a day or an event where all of the Israelites were gathered, and they because the Israelites don't gather in front of meeting tent every day, as it were. So, but they went on that day as a group. The five daughters said they had unity of mind and unity of purpose. Our father died while we were traveling through the desert. He died a natural death. The Zelophehad daughters, another thing that struck me was that they came with their facts. They knew the law. They knew, um, they understood what had happened over the past years. So to give a bit of a background, there were different kinds of deaths that happened in the 40 years that the Israelites were wandering in the wilderness in the desert. First, the question is why were they even wandering for 40 years? Yes, that's for those who are not conversant with this story. God had rescued the Israelites from Egypt, promised to take them to Canaan, and they were on their way. They're well on their way. There are multitudes, so obviously they're trekking, yes. And so they had gotten to a place just before Canaan and about to enter, and they proposed, oh, a nice idea. Let's send people to go and spy the land, to go and see what's there, so we can be better prepared on our strategies and all of that. How to overtake the land. So each tribe, and there are 12 tribes of Israel, each tribe I was about to donate it, but brought forth one person to represent them. There are 10 men, all their names are recorded in the Bible, but the two that are worthy of note are Joshua and Caleb. So the 12 men went into Canaan. They went to different cities. They divided themselves, went into different cities. They took specimens of the fruit, some of the weapons, and came back with their stories. So all of them had the same story similarly, but their reactions to it were different. 10 of the 12 said, oh, we went there. Yeah, the land is flowing with milk and honey, but we saw giants. We were like grasshoppers, we were like ants, more like we can't go there, we can't take it to those people. If we get it, they will just smash us, they will kill us, like they will alienate us, And Joshua and Caleb had a different report. They were like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, all of these things exist, but God has promised to give us the land. So we believe we can go ahead and take it. But a lot of people sided with the 10 men and the negative reports, and in their disbelief, neglected that the same God who had done the 10 plagues, divided the Red Sea, could do this thing because he had said he would do it. And so God was upset with them and said, you know what? You, these 10 men, and everyone who sided with you, in fact, first punishment is you are not even going into Canaan land immediately. Yes, you're going to wander in the wilderness for 40 years. And during that 40 years, everyone 20 years, every man, or well, yeah, 20 years and above, who sided with these men, and obviously these men as well, will all die in the wilderness. So, and back then they used to live like 120 some, because Aaron died at 123 years old. Yeah. So people used to live over 100. So imagine being 21 years old, yeah, or 20 years old, and you've already been told that you're going to die at 60 or 40 something. But either way, you're not going to get to the problem. You're going to die within that 40 years. Um, and all of that. So, and then apart from that, there was another rebellion that happened in that period when they were wandering the wilderness. Aaron was the priest, selected priest at the time, high priest. His family, the priesthood assignment or purpose was given to his family, the Levite. But Aaron was the high priest, and one guy, Korah, in the same Levite family, yes, like came and said, "Oh no, why is Aaron the high priest? Why was he chosen? Is he better than us?" And so they had that tussle for power, and Moses said, bring forth your staff and place it by the tent. The one that, brings out flowers by morning is the person God has chosen. Yes, so let God be the one that will decide if truly, truly Aaron is the high priest, which of course God was the one that had already, ordained him as the high priest. And so morning came, and obviously only Aaron's staff bordered with flowers. And God said, you know what, everyone just separate from Korah and his people. The rebellion was called a rebellion because they literally rebelled. And the earth, Moses said, you know what, the earth is going to open up and swallow. And so the earth opened up and swallowed them. And so there were different pockets of people dying from stupidness, stupidity, if I put it that way. So the five daughters were right in specifying that their father died a natural death. He didn't die from rebellion. He didn't die from as part of the people who supported the negative report. He died a natural death. He was not one of the men who joined Korah's group. Korah was the man who turned against Lord, the story I just said. But our father had no sons. This means that our father's name will not continue. It is not fair that our father's name will not continue. His name will end because he had no sons. So we ask you to give us some of the land that our father's brothers will get. So which is what I was alluding to. Because a man had no sons, it means his inheritance goes straight to his brother. Because ideally the daughters marry out and they enjoy the inheritance of the family that they have married to. So Moses asked the Lord what he should do, and the Lord said to him, the daughters of Zelophehad are right. There are promises we have, or promises, there are things that God has laid out for us that are ours by right. But if we don't request for them, if we don't have the boldness, the audacity, the guts to go and take it, it's just going to be there. You understand? There's some rules that have been made. Reminds me of the story of a parable that Jesus said in the New Testament, where there was a woman who her husband's land or property had been taken from her forcibly, and she went to the judge and she was on his case. She was on his case. She was like, "You have to rule in my favor. You have to be on this matter." And the guy was like, if for nothing but your persistence, I beg, to paraphrase, you know what, this case is settled. You know what, everything you want is yours." And to paraphrase the story. So persistence, yes, and the mind, as we say in Nigeria, to have the mind, the boldness to request for something that you think can be done in your favor, but you go with your facts so that you don't just come and blab nonsense like just because you feel. You go with your facts and okay and logic. And so that's what these girls, these daughters of the Zelophehad did. And God said, they are right. They should share the land with their father's brothers. So give them the land that you would have given to their father. And because of them, the law was changed, was updated. And then said, God now told Moses, so tell the Israelites, if a man had no son, this was a law that did not exist before. But because these women came out and said, you know what, this is unfair to us, unfair to our father. Yet, because of this situation, a law was put into place. A new policy was written to address an area that had probably been an oversight. Yet, because maybe people hadn't really thought that the man would not have any son. Or even or maybe they had, obviously there were people who had no sons, but they didn't think, oh, why would he go to the daughters, and all of that. If he has, so if a man has no son, when he dies, everything he owns. Now, was even updated. Everything he owns will be given to his daughter. Everything. If he has no daughter, everything he owns will then be given to his brothers. If he has no brothers, everything he owns will be given to his father's brothers, and blah blah blah, closest relative, and all of that. So, summary of today's faith walk discussion. In your career, in your business, in relationships, um demand for what you know is rightfully yours. Yes, you're working somewhere in an office, an organization, and you feel you're not being treated right. Demand for what you know is rightfully yours. In most companies, there's a HR policy manual. If there's no manual, well, it's a bit of a gray area, but you still go. You can go with maybe labor laws or something and say, according to this days, this is supposed to happen. Now, I have not seen a policy here that addresses this, but I don't think it is right that I be denied this and this simply because there's no law or policy. And in most cases, I assure you that something can be done for you. And if something is not done for you, then it means it's not the right place for you. You have to leave. But in most cases, I've seen, at least in my own experience, the times when I went to fight for what rightfully mine, things were done in my favor. Because the Bible says that lines have fallen for us in pleasant places. We have a goodly inheritance. So you have a goodly inheritance that God had laid aside for you, but you have to go and take it. You have to go and demand. You have to take what is rightfully yours. It's there waiting, but if you don't make a request for it with your facts, with your audacity, with boldness, it's just going to be there looking at you like this, waiting for it to come. It's not going to come to you. You'll wait for it to come and take it. You understand? So that's our discussion for today. Look around you, look in aspects of your life and see if there's something you're not enjoying because you simply haven't taken hold of it yet. And I hope that you do the right thing and begin to enjoy more and more and more and more. All right, thank you so much. If you've joined me till the end, I'm so grateful. Thank you. Please subscribe, please share, please comment, like, and have a blessed day or week or month, depending on when you're watching this video. All right, bye.